Hello everybody and welcome to Sunkissed Reactions. My name is Courtney. Today I am here with a movie reaction, The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf. I saw this trailer back in like August, I think, and I love The Witcher, the show. So I decided that I really wanted to watch this movie and I need more movie reactions on Patreon because right now I just have the one, Demon Slayer. So yeah, we're gonna watch this movie. I'm very excited. Note that if you are watching this on YouTube, I only put the pre and post discussion up on YouTube, as well as pre-post discussion and review up on YouTube. The full length and reaction to this movie will only be on Patreon. And I do that only because it just takes too long to sit there and try and edit down an hour-and-a-half movie, 2-hour movie to 10 minutes. It takes a lot of work and I just don't have the time, unfortunately. So if you want to watch the full length or the reaction at all, which the reaction will be full length, you will have to provide your own reference footage, but it will be available on my Patreon on the lowest tier, the $2 tier. So you can go and support me there and sync up your own footage and watch the entire movie with me. I don't really know much about this movie other than I believe it is an origin story, so that's going to be exciting. I don't know. It says a little bit in the description, it says Vesemir. That's a name that I don't really know. I don't think we've seen or heard that name in the show The Witcher, and I'm only like 2 episodes in of season 2. So I say without further ado, let's get this movie started. Okay. That was The Witcher. What is it called? The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf. That was really good. It went by really fast. So basically the plot was that this kid grew up in poverty. What was his name? Why am I blanking on his name? Anyway, this kid that grew up in poverty, he ran away from his home and wanted to be a witcher because he can make money that way. And then he finds out, 50 some odd years later, that these beasts that he's been slaying for money are being created by mages or whatever. And then he's slaying them. So it's just kind of been like, I wonder, it didn't actually like go into like how long it had been doing that. But so yeah, and then so I thought that the kid that he had ran into at the very beginning was actually going to be like, what was that, the mage guy? Because it didn't say how much time had passed, but he did kind of remind me of that white-haired mage. But did we ever get a name? I don't think we ever got a name, but he said he was of noble blood. So was that him, like, many years later, and I just didn't realize there was a time skip, or what happened to that kid? I don't remember. So yeah, Madame Gilchrist was the witch that we fought here at the end, and she was trying to tell the king that these attacks were being created, and he didn't want to really listen. He didn't really care. He didn't really do much. The king. And what else? Ileana, we found out that Ileana had been sold to a noble family, which turns out it was this lady here, the king's family line or whatever, I guess. And I was really hoping that they would come back together. I forgot that Witchers age differently, and so she, looked like she was almost 70, whereas he still looked, really young. But she had married, had children. Would she say she had three daughters, and they were quite the kids. But I'm glad that they were able to meet up in life again, even if it was just for a brief period of time. And they got to, kind of express how they felt towards each other and stuff like that. That was very sweet. I loved that. I liked seeing there at the end too, when she passed away. I liked seeing him show that emotion that he had lost, the love of his life basically. And he had vowed to become a witcher so that he could take care of her. But I guess he never went back because he felt like he didn't need to, maybe because she had been sold to a noble family, so she, was living a good life. So he just decided, I guess, to keep doing what he was doing, and she could take care of herself and stuff like that. I'm assuming that one letter that he had was the only letter. It was the only one that we saw, or that we heard. Yeah, and then Gilchrist and the Witcher went to Vesemir. That's his name. I could not think of his name to save my life, but Vesemir, that's his name. Gilchrist and Vesemir went to look for this beast or whatever that I guess was sending out all of these other beasts, and the ones that were taking the girls and killing them, and or they were taking girl elves and like killing them. Yeah, that was sad. But Kitsu was an elf that was also a hybrid, and it was basically Kitsu was turned. And so I guess she wanted to get back at those people, I'm assuming. And she had like illusion power, and it really sucked that she made the illusion to look like her so that Vesemir thought he was killing her, but he actually put his sword through Ileana. I'm sad that she died, but I'm so happy that she actually, she got to see the lake one last time, because that was always her dream. She wanted a house on a lake, and he showed that to her. It was very sweet. Yeah. Um, Gilchrist died. There was some crazy. The fights were really good in this show. The only thing that I kind of wish was better in this movie was the music during the fights. The music everywhere else fit and seemed very, very good. But like for the fighting, I never really got like it was cool to see, the animation was fun, but I never got like super hype about these fights, and I was like, okay, let's go, you know. The music was a little slow, I think, for the fight sequences, but the animation was good. The scenery was beautiful. I thought that the motions were fluid enough. It's definitely better animation than I've seen from some movies and or TV shows. I really liked this story. I liked the characters, even characters that like I didn't really like throughout the whole movie. I found myself like caring for these characters when they were in this last fight and then they died. So that's always nice when you can feel sympathy for the lives that are being lost. um, yeah, I liked the like the outfits and stuff, and like the color palettes that they chose. Each little like main character was like a different color palette. That was nice. Yeah, I thought it was a really good movie. I definitely it was an origin story is what I've heard. And then there at the end, that bald kid, that our Witcher guy, Vesemir, called him Geralt. Is that Geralt? What's his name? Geralt of Rivera or something like that, or of Riviera or something. That's interesting. So was this an origin story for him? But no, I'm assuming that, I mean, I don't think it's any kind of coincidence that, I don't think it's another Geralt. I think that's our Geralt that we see in the live action The Witcher. So that's cool. I wonder if they're going to make more of these movies and we're going to see, and then we'll follow Geralt up until where we see him in season 1 of The Witcher. That would be really cool. That would be really cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I love that little Easter egg there. And like, if you've never seen The Witcher, that name means nothing to you. But for those who have seen it, that was a really cool, like, little reveal. When that little boy when they were talking with Ileana, while the fight was going on, before, you know, he had said, you know, there's a basement down there or whatever. I thought that, like, I don't think we had seen him the entire show or movie, or if we did, he was in the background. Like, I don't think he ever spoke or anything like that up until that moment. And I thought that he was, like, animated a little differently, like, to stand out a little bit more. And I'm like, who is this kid? Because, like, he was like, I don't know, maybe because he was a bald kid, he stood out a little bit more than the other ones. I don't know. He was also extremely pale. Like, his complexion was a lot different, I felt like, than anybody else in the movie. And I wonder if they just kind of did that to be like, hey, this kid's standing out for a reason. There's going to be a reason. Make sure you watch to the end, you know? I don't know. But that's fun. I wonder if it's going to continue. That'd be cool if it did. I'd be okay with that, to follow Geralt through his life of becoming a Witcher. That's always, I always like, like backstories and origin stories. I thought that the way they transitioned from backstory to present time was actually really, really well done. It didn't seem like we spent too much time in the, I didn't feel like it lagged on, I guess, in the past. I was very much invested in his backstory. Yeah, it was a fun movie. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.